Hello world, welcome to my universe. I must admit that the response to the video I posted on Monday called Tea Time was not exactly what I was expecting. But I've spent an awful lot of time thinking about it, and it all kind of makes sense now. I was still coming off of the intense emotional high from my very real, very serious religious experience where I was touched by thy noodly appendage, and I got a little bit overzealous. I was just so damn excited that while I never said it outright, I'll admit to you right now, full disclosure, that I really was trying to convert you guys to Pastafarianism. So allow me to take this opportunity to apologize for that, because religion is a deeply personal experience and no one should ever try to shove their religious ideas down anyone else's throat. While I know that what I felt, what happened to me really actually happened, and as a result I now know that our universe was in fact created by a giant mass of flying spaghetti, I have no objective proof. I have no way of demonstrating that to all of you, and so to expect you guys to believe that is as ridiculous as expecting you guys to believe that zombies exist. So if you believe me, then go ahead, get on your hands and knees and accept Sarah Palin as your Lord and Savior today. And if you don't, I guess that's okay too. I mean, you're wrong, and I know that you're wrong, but there's no way for me to prove to you that you're wrong, so his noodly goodness will forgive you. You are free to believe any ridiculous thing that you choose to believe. Just remember, however, that I too am free to believe any ridiculous thing that I choose to believe. I mean, I get it, I understand. It is rude to make fun of Christians just because they're Christians. It's rude to make fun of Jews just because they're Jews. It's rude to make fun of Muslims just because they're Muslims. It's rude to make fun of anyone just because they have a belief that happens to be different from your own. So, with all of that established, I think it's time that we address the absurd, malicious rumor that I don't actually believe what I told you I believe on Monday. You do not have to accept it as your own religion, but Pastafarianism is not a joke. I mean, I'll be the first to admit to you that to an objective observer, some of our beliefs seem rather silly, but just because something seems silly doesn't mean that it is silly. We believe that the universe was created by a giant mass of flying spaghetti who we refer to as the flying spaghetti monster. And some of us now believe that Sarah Palin is the living, breathing human incarnation of said spaghetti monster. You don't have to agree with our beliefs, but is there anything wrong with the fact that we believe them? So to those of you who insist that what I'm saying is a joke, that I don't actually believe what I actually believe, well, I have one thing to say to you. You are rude. And don't give me any garbage about playing the victim, because I'm not just playing the victim, I am the victim of religious persecution. If you don't like my beliefs, that's fine. You don't have to. But please, let me believe my beliefs in peace, and I will do the same for you. And if even just the fact that I am allowed to believe in Pastafarianism comes into conflict with whatever you happen to believe, maybe Pastafarianism has more to offer you than you realize. I would highly encourage you to look into it. Anyway, I'm sick of being cranky, so here is a praise song I wrote to honor Sarah Palin's noodly goodness. You came from the stripper factory to Alaska to show them the way. From Alaska to the United States, my debt to pay. Soon you will become the president. After that you'll be the Pope. Sarah Palin, you give me hope. Fade in. Hey there guys, it's time for this week's Big 3, the first of which comes from YouTube username Jackie77M. She opted to praise Sarah Palin's noodly goodness by writing a fantastically fantastic song for her on her ukulele. Now, I could talk about it a bit more or show you a little clip from it, but frankly it's not a very long video, and to do any more than I've already done would kind of ruin the surprise. So just check it out, there's a link in the doobly-doo. The second of this week's Big 3 comes from YouTube username blkfrhwk. Much like Jackie's response, blkfrhwk also opted to write a song. Unlike Jackie's song, however, blkfrhwk's song is not a happy, joyous ukulele melody. Instead, it is a more somber, calm, chant, if you will. Again, I would love to play you a little snippet, but if I played you a little snippet, it would kind of spoil the fun. I think you should check it out for yourself. There's a link to it in the doobly-doo. The final video in this week's Big 3 comes from YouTube username Munker59. Again, I'm not going to give you any spoilers, but what I will say about Munker59's video response is that it is the best video response I have ever received on any of my videos ever. Now, normally when I do the Big 3, I ask you to choose one of them and then go over to that video and post a thoughtful comment. But because of the intensity of this week's discussion, I think that it is really important that you watch all 3 in order. If you have been confused in any way, shape, or form as to what exactly has been going on in my universe this week, this week's Big 3 has the answer, so long as you have the capacity to read between the lines. Anyway, let's wrap this up. Fade out, fade in. Okay, I want to spend the last little chunk of this video talking about the Tea Party movement and how I see Pastafarianism playing a role in it. Now, if you don't see eye to eye with me religiously, by no means do you have to do any of the things I'm about to suggest that we Pastafarians do. But if you do see eye to eye with me, if you have accepted Sarah Palin as the living, breathing incarnation of the flying spaghetti monster, then I think it will come as no surprise to you when I say that it is our duty as Pastafarians to protest alongside the Tea Party movement, praising Sarah Palin's noodly goodness. With any luck, the next time the Tea Party Express goes on a nationwide tour, we will be as welcomed by them as we were welcomed by Westboro Baptist Church. And if you're unfamiliar with that incident, there is a link in the doobly-doo. Anyway, I am sure that you have had enough of me this week, so until next Monday, I am Dan Brown. Please, please, please don't be a zombie. If you like what you just saw, if Dan put you in a state of awe, subscribe to him and click the orange button. It really, 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 really means something. If you do that, that'd be really cool.